Welcome to Rotface 10-Man how-to video. My name is Undyingchaos, GM of Broken Tribes, and I will be narrating this video. Rather than going over what each mechanic does, I will simply explain how to handle every mechanic in the fight and assume you know what they do. The raid should be positioned stacking behind the boss with the exception of the main tank, off tank, and hunters if they wish. The main tank should obviously be facing the boss. However, the off tank should be away from the raid to act as a beacon for the first two people who gain the debuff that will drop an ooze. As for the hunter, they can set up a third position between the main tank and most of the raids, so slime spray would only hit them and they can easily get away. The reason we have a hunter in the third position is it makes it easier for them to DPS due to their minimal range requirement, and if needed can put on nature resist aspect quick if chosen for slime spray. When slime spray picks a person in the raid, everybody who's not the target is to stack on the tanks. Once slime spray begins to cast, the person who was picked is to move to the rest of the raid. Then, once the ability is done casting, return to behind the boss. The other major mechanic is ooze. In short, the best way to handle them is to take a paladin as your off tank and have them do the kiting. The reason for this is a few things. The first is the paladin can have Pursuit of Justice and Hand of Freedom. This is great for kiting the ooze, for it makes running through the slime puddles quick and easy. And yes, you should run through the slime puddles if you have to. Risking bringing the big ooze through the raid is too great for the little damage you take running through the puddle. As I said before, the off tank will act as a beacon during this fight. The first person is to run to the off tank as quick as possible, and be dispelled as soon as that person starts moving towards the off tank. If your off tank is a paladin, then it is their job to do the dispelling. The goal for dispelling is to make a big ooze and to do it as quick as possible. Once the big ooze is made, the tank's job is now to kite while also dispelling, keeping taunts and to toss any aggro abilities that are ranged to hold on to the ooze so it doesn't go off onto other members in the raid. For people who get the debuff, once a big ooze is formed, you want to run in between the tank kiting and the ooze. When you have the little ooze chasing you, all you need to do is touch the big ooze and need to leave. As long as it taps it, it will merge with the big ooze. As you noticed in the video, sometimes the slimes will continue chasing people, but will disappear as long as it's touched the big ooze once. This is key to making this fight as efficient as possible. In our raid, I made sure I told people when the little ooze touched, so that way they knew for sure it registered with the server and could leave. In short, the goal is to drop your ooze off as quickly as possible and leave. Also dispelling the second someone moves towards the off tank. This makes sure there is as little raid damage as possible and the raid can focus on killing the boss. Once the big ooze gains 5 little oozes, then it becomes unstable and explodes. When the ooze is about to explode, then you need to scatter as the explosion goes in random directions. However, there is a little trick to remove an ooze during a transition. Every time the ooze is about to explode, a person is given the debuff. If they are quick enough, you can drop the ooze off while it's exploding and remove it from the fight, as the explosions do not cause any extra damage if it has any more oozes. Rotface has a sort of softened rage at the 3-minute mark where the speed of the debuff is applied faster. With this in mind, you should bloodlust early since the debuff is going as slow as possible and everyone can take the most advantage of bloodlust. Rotface is an execution fight, so knowing what to do when is key, for Rotface leaves very little room for error. I hope this video helped, and of course above all, enjoy the loot.